What's good, y'all, and welcome back. Now today we're going to be talking about the new Gachiakuta collab, so let's just jump right into it. We just got the information on the Boarhead headline, so yeah. First of all, please like and subscribe, it helps me out a lot, so yeah. Let's just kind of skip forward. Now here you can see, let me just turn up the quality. You can see the trailer for them. I mean, they look pretty cool if you ask me. They really nailed their anime look, so yeah. And as you can see, we're getting Rudo. We're also getting Zanka. We're getting Engine. And yeah, Rio of course as well. And I think they look pretty accurate to the anime, so that's pretty nice in my opinion. Now here you can see the cover art for it. Now the main thing I'm gonna want to jump into with y'all is the new heroes. So first of all, we have Rudo right here. These are gonna be his outfits if you're interested in that, so yeah. They look fine, I guess. I'm not gonna spend money on them, so yeah. Now we actually got kit info, so that's pretty interesting. Now we have his skills. His first skill is a triple pierce card, so pretty simple. It removes one buff effect from the target, which is pretty nice. It's going to do that on level 1, so yeah. And the damage dealt is going to go up by 50% while recycle is active. Now that's his like a buff in his passive, which you're gonna, you know, I'm gonna show you. And then his skill 2 decreases damage dealt of all enemies by 150% for 1 turn. And then inflicts damage. So that's like his whole kit is not really damage focused. Like not in his essence, he's more of a tank and more so on utility. His ultimate removes stances from all enemies, gains recycle, and yeah, inflicts reforge damage. Now his passive, that's the interesting part. His passive, for each human ally participating in battle, their basic stats increase by 6% and the hero's max HP by 15%, so already he's gonna get a lot of HP. Then he gains reduce for 2 turns at the start of the battle. Reduce is that only he can be targeted, so he has taunt. And he decreases final damage taken by 50% just like that. So for the first 2 turns, when you have him in your team, on the human team, he's gonna reduce all final damage taken by 50%, so you're just gonna take half damage, which is huge against everyone. That's just big damage reduction. Now when that buff is removed after 2 turns, all allies will receive a 60% damage cap for 2 turns. The question is if that's going to be blue or gray. I think it's going to be blue, but maybe it'll be gray. Now he also has a revive, and you're going to see this is a recurring theme on most of the new Gachiakuta collab characters, so yeah. But his recovery rate decreases by 50%, so that means if you have Tommy Link on him and he revives, he's not gonna just revive to full if you are like at 20% HP when dying, so yeah, just kind of to balance it out. Now when he uses a skill or a human ally takes damage from a skill, he gains reuse for 2 turns. Reuse is defense related stats plus 50% and damage taken minus 100%, so you can see like that's just gonna make him crazy tanky, like compared to Darkness, for instance. So he's gonna kind of be just similar to Darkness in terms of tankiness. Now he removes 1 debuff from self and grants human allies 1 evade for 1 turn at the start of the ally's turn. Now that is huge. That's probably going to be tied to his passive. Remember, this is at 6/6 to his ult level, so yeah. But just giving 1 evade at the start of the next turn is going to be huge against Meli's counter. So he's a direct counter to Nemesis Meliodas, and that's like pretty huge if you ask me. So yeah. And at the start of the ally's turn, reuse is removed and the recycle is gained. So if you get attacked in any capacity or he uses a skill, you're basically going to get a lot of defense during that turn. And then when your turn starts, you like that's removed and you get a damage buff, and all of your allies gain like he removes one debuff from himself, and all allies gain an evade, so kind of like dodge food or tamaki. Now that's his kit. Now let's go over Engine next. Engine is also pretty interesting. These are his outfits. I like the like Japanese kind of, or like Chinese, Japanese, whatever that fox is called look. His skills. His first skill deals ignition damage. Ignition damage is 5 times pierce rate and 100% extra damage dealt while drive or overheat is active, and he's gonna have those active almost the entire time. Spoiler alert. His second skill is severance damage, and that's just 3 times pierce rate, 3 times crit chance, and increases damage dealt by half of pierce rate. And this card will hit like crazy, because you're gonna see how the team comes together, but he's gonna have a lot of pierce rate. He's gonna probably obliterate everything, so yeah. His ultimate gains a 100% pierce rate increase for 2 turns and inflicts severance damage equal to 600% of attack. So yeah, pretty basic. Now his passive, of course, increases human allies' basic stats by 6% and pierce rate by 20% for each one participating in battle. So that's instantly 60% pierce rate, of course, basic stats as well. And he gains Unbreaker at the start of the battle. That's attack related stats plus 30 and pierce rate plus 80. So now he already has 140% pierce rate at the start of the battle, just like that. Now he can also upgrade his Unbreaker buff when he kills an enemy. Now that can only happen once, and it's gonna enhance Unbreaker by 50%, so you're gonna have 45% attack related stats and 120% pierce. So yeah. Then he also has the same revive as we just discussed with Rudo. And at the end of the ally's turn or the enemy's turn, or when the human ally uses a skill, so during the ally's turn, so basically like all the time, you're gonna have get this, like if anyone does anything, he gains drive for 3 turns. Drive is pierce rate plus 80%, stacks 3 times, so you probably almost always have 3 stacks up, which means an extra 240% pierce rate, which means you're already gonna be at least what's that, 240 plus 140, 380% extra pierce rate. Yeah, now if that doesn't seem crazy, I don't know what is. Now, using a skill while drive is at max stats grants the hero overheat for 1 turn and allies a 5% defense decrease for 2 turns. Now that defense decrease is just kind of lore wise, I guess. It doesn't really affect the gameplay, but overheat means that he inflicts additional damage equal to 150% of his attack on all enemies. So kind of like the passive hit of Roxy, but just on all enemies. And it's like not 300% like Roxy has, but Roxy only has additional attacks, so he has current attack, so that's gonna be a lot higher. So basically he has Roxy after hit, but on everyone. So yeah, that's crazy. Now, he also decreases their attack-related stats by 30% for 2 turns at the start of the enemy's turn, which is also pretty nice. But that's also going to remove all his drive buffs, so keep that in mind. Now we have Zanka. Zanka is the free unit, just so you know. That's his outfit, and he's probably the greatest free unit we ever had in a game, in my opinion. Yeah. His skills, suppression damage, 3 times pierce rate and 3 times crit damage. Definitely a hard hitting card. Inflicts damage equal to 400% of attack on 1 enemy and blocks all skill effects of ultimate moves for 2 turns, like of everything. So yeah, disable card. Now his ultimate increase allies basic stats and just deal suppression damage. His passive, now that's a big part. And he's a human backline. Now, that's pretty interesting if you ask me, because he just made Easton kind of worthless, but yeah. And also, who was it that came out that like was good for... I don't even remember anymore. Yeah, I don't even remember anymore. Whatever unit came out that was good in the backline and just kind of... Tiori. Yeah, he's just kind of Tiori for humans as well. So yeah. 18% basic stats for allies and also another 15% attack. He gains lovely assist staff when entering the battle from the secondary slot, which means he just gets 100% extra pierce rate from when he comes out of the back. So yeah. And while he has that buff, his attack related stats increase by 50% for each defeated ally. Now, if your team gets wiped, that's 150% attack related stats, so you're definitely gonna be able to kill anyone with that single target that we just talked about. Yeah. Now, when a human ally takes damage from an enemy skill, the enemy is inflicted with quarantine for 2 turns. Now, quarantine is all stats minus 10%, all target attack damage dealt minus 30%. That's pretty nice. I mean, that's just gonna be always active on the enemies. Again, this is on ult level 6, so that's definitely gonna be lower at 1 out of 6. And now, another big part of his kit, he applies attack disable on the enemy that enters the battle from the secondary slot for 1 turn. So no more Merlin and Escanor backline or even Nemesis melee backline, because they're going to be attack disabled for 1 turn and that's going to hurt them. So yeah. He also grants the human ally with the highest HP cheat for 2 turns at the start of the battle. Now, we don't really know what cheat means. Cheat seems to be, I guess that it halves enemies damage dealt increase, but like, do they mean it halves enemies damage taken decrease? So like, does it make them less tanky when you attack? Or does it really mean that, you know, you apply some sort of debuff that makes them deal half of their damage increase? We don't know. It's probably the first one I said, which would be pretty nice. But yeah, and that's always going to be active on Rudo, because, you know, he has very high HP, so he's probably going to deal some kind of good damage. Now, let's get over to Rio. Rio is probably the most broken unit, I'd say, because one line of her passive is just insane. I think her design is also just, like, so cool, so yeah. Let's see. Skill 1. Cancel stances on one enemy. Again, another Meliodas counter, because, you know, after turn 1 you can cancel his stance, so yeah. And she inflicts alteration damage, 4 times pierce rate and 2 times crit damage increase. Pretty high damage, I'd say. And damage dealt plus 50% for each the Ripper on the hero. We're gonna get to that soon. And her second skill is just an AoE, which is attack plus 250% when using skill. That's the same as the Priscilla single target, if you remember that. So yeah, but only as an AoE. Ultimate, she just has a single target ultimate that does the single target effect and then blocks all of their skill effects. Now her passive increases human allies basic stats by 6%, as we have seen many times. She has the exact same revive as Rudo and Engine had, so yeah, pretty cool. And she grants human... Now comes the broken part. She grants human allies survival instinct for 3 turns at the start of the battle. Survival instinct, HP related stats plus 30%, making Rudo especially even more tanky and making him heal more with Tommy Link and so on. And 0% chance to take critical hits damage from enemy skills. Stats do not fall below their initial values. So first of all, that just drastically lowers, like, you know, I mean, if you were ever to face the Salos again or something like that. But the line above that is the crazy one. 0% chance to take critical strike damage from enemy skills is huge, because Nemesis melee, especially on his single target, and many other units have crazy high crit damage. Or Alaroxy, for example. Now, Alaroxy and Nemesis melee and all of those characters cannot crit your whole team for 3 turns. That just means that their damage is going to be highly limited. Now, like, that's just going to make you almost immortal for the first few turns. And yeah, I'm interested to see how it play out, because, like, your crit chance won't matter against this team, I guess. Now, when a human ally uses a single target or when taking damage from a skill during the enemy's turn, the hero gains the Ripper for 2 turns. Human allies pierce rate plus 50%, stacks 3 times, so that's basically after 1 turn, always 150% pierce rate for your whole team. Again, remember Engine's kit, he now has like 600% pierce rate and his AoE is just gonna go crazy. Yeah. She also removes 1 orb from the target's ultimate move gauge when the hero uses a stance cancel skill to remove an enemy's stance. Again, another Meliodas counter if you, or like even a King counter, if you run Nemesis melee plus Light King and you kill Light King with her skill, then melee will or like, never mind. No, never mind. But it's just a melee counter. If you attack melee and remove a skill, you're gonna lower his ult gauge. Pretty nice. And that's like almost all I wanted to go over with y'all. Now the pickup draw is just gonna be 600 loyalty, 1 of 4 collab heroes. You're gonna get 10 tickets for free, I guess. Oh no, you get 10 tickets at every 100 pulls, so you get basically in your first rotation you get 120 free pulls when you pull. So yeah, that's pretty nice. If we get additional rewards, you know. Now 77 gems, Zanka again for free, and some holy upgrade relic box things, more holy relics, bingo, more holy relics, of course. You have the event boss, which you can get some Gota outfits and more relics. And now if you're a new player, you're gonna be able to summon on Nemesis Melee banner for 3 weeks, which is huge. So yeah, definitely do that if you're new to the game. Hall of Warriors got some expansion. I mean, that's just, we don't care. New coupon code, 77 legendary seals and 77 skip tickets. That's nice. And the code is end, however you pronounce it. Gonna be active tomorrow, so not today, but tomorrow. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Some quality of life, knighthood things, changes. But yeah. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now we can see a PvP match. And we're like just taking the full collab team against Nemesis Melee, Gojo Ban, and Merlin and Escanor, so like the best, you know, Sin's team. I didn't look at the stats, but yeah, Rudo has 921k HP turn 1, so yeah, pretty stupid. Now let's see what they will do. I mean, I have no idea why they would use those cards. Those cards are absolute trash. If anything, you would have wanted to use the melee cards from one, the single target, but yeah. Oh, my bad. That still does a lot of damage, to be fair. I thought that would do like less damage. Melee still also does a lot of damage. I don't know. That's kind of crazy still, in my opinion. And Ban single target is based on his crit damage, so yeah. Now, as you can see, Rudo got his I forgot the name, but basically his damage buff, and he gives everyone a dodge now. So yeah, you can attack into melee counter. They all got the pierce stacks from her, so yeah. Now he's gonna use that card because, is it an AoE? Okay, so at level 1 it reduces enemies damage by 80% for 1 turn. That doesn't break shield. He takes some counter damage. I don't know. I guess he just waits out the, you know, the thing. Oh, and here you can see, I guess, because he did the AoE, everyone's damage dealt increase is just halved. So yeah, I guess. Now they should deal even less damage. Let's see it. Yeah, 15k. With talent, 15k. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, now they're pretty much unkillable. If you don't kill them turn 1, it's basically over. Interesting. Now he actually uses Rio cards. And that card is gonna be crazy against the shield, because you know it has the attack increase and a high base multiplier. Now they should have removed the buff with Rudo first. This would have done like 2 million damage. As you can already see, that did 1.8 million damage. Just like that. So yeah, he's the crazy damage dealer. She's support. She's like a great support, a huge support. He's tank and support. Rudo's tank and support. And Engine is the big damage dealer. So yeah. Now he can actually do damage, as you can see. But everyone still has the revive, so yeah, I completely forgot that. But Engine is gonna die. Pretty sure. Now it's tricky, I guess, because I don't even know if they will win this match, to be fair. Well, I mean, at least he still does some okay damage. And that card is probably pretty nice. And then he's just reducing his damage he can deal, so yeah. Now I think like he doesn't have any talents left, but if that melee would have rushed ult, potentially you're cooked right there. And now you can just use whatever ult. Go with Rudo ult, I guess. Oh, they just killed with him. Like, as you can see, one ally died, so he's already going crazy. So yeah, and he's free, so that's pretty crazy. And now that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed the video, guys, please like and subscribe. And yeah, I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Until then, bye bye.